Here we go, boys. Welcome to the lab. Let's go.
Hit it.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Incoming.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Omnic Lab. We're a podcast that has been focusing on the strategies inside the game of Overwatch. And we learn through trial and error in the lab, even if things get a little crazy, maybe blow up right in your face. But usually it'll blow up in our face because we're recording this on the live show. And sometimes you guys that are listening in post don't necessarily have those issues. Today may be one of those things. We're trying something new. So buckle up. We're doing a year in review of the Omnic Lab paired with a year in review of the game of Overwatch. So even though we're a strategic podcast, we thought this would be a great time to have a little bit more of a lax show. Numbers always drop during the holidays because everybody is traveling and wants something a little bit more low key. And we thought it would be good to kind of inform maybe some of you who are new to the show where we've come from. So I'm your host, Rob May. This is episode number 34, 2016 in review. And joining me is the best host in the business, Andres Gomez. What's up, Andres?
Hello, hello. I'm super excited about today. Like you said, it's going to be a little bit of a different show. Today we're doing our year-end special, and we just wanted to, give back to you guys, talk to our community. We're not going to be so filled with strategy today, so if you're really coming in for the strategy, maybe it's not going to be your episode, but we promise that next year, or next episode, that will be probably next year,
Next year.
We're coming back strong with a strategy, so hold on tight. Don't worry too much. Strategy is not going anywhere. But yeah, today we just wanted to talk to our community, show you guys how the podcast has grown, maybe some fun facts about us, and yeah, share with you guys awesome year end.
Absolutely. So we actually have some cool stuff, some announcements. We also want to man, I'm just on top of it today. Can you tell I had double shots of espresso and I'm still tired? So we are actually wanting to not just do a review of the past, but kind of look towards the future a little bit, especially for the show, kind of the stuff we want to look to do. Andres and I had a powwow last night and wanted to just really rehash what we wanted to do this year. We have some stuff that we can't tell you, obviously, for very important reasons. And we're just really pumped. So before we do that, I know a lot of you like to know our progress. So let's just take like 5 minutes, Andres, and let the people know what's going on your ladder climb this last week, kind of a little update. So what's been going on with you and your team and whatnot?
With the team, we've pretty much taken a little break because of the holidays. It was hard to schedule practices when everyone's having family or going out of town and doing all this stuff. So we've played on and off, not anything official. I've been just kind of like perusing the ladder, playing a lot of solo queue and then also like duo queue. I've been mainly just trying out a lot of characters. At this point, I'm playing a lot of tanks. I was playing a lot of Zarya and Diva. I'm trying to learn a lot of Roadhog. I've been focusing so much on the DPS, and honestly, like the tanks are good right now. Like it's obvious to everyone that they're working. So yeah, just trying to expand my hero pool and trying to get like those hooks down to a T. Because my God, there's some Roadhogs out there that do not miss those hooks. It's pretty insane how they do it.
Oh my gosh.
And just Zarya is so strong, especially against players like Diva, for example, where you can just eat away at her mech. It doesn't matter if she has the Matrix up or not. I've been noticing that. And then for some reason, I need to check out like the tournament scene because I think I missed something here because there were so many Reapers last night. I was like, what? Where are all these Reapers coming from? Nobody played Reaper like a week ago. Why is everyone playing Reaper? So it makes me think that there was like a big tournament or something. And I haven't been able to catch up too much on the competitive scene because of the holidays, but I'm sure like something like that happened. How about you, dude? How's been your ladder?
Well, we can quote Reaper on your experience. It's in the refrigerator. It's probably where they've been this whole time, just drinking eggnog, just waiting to pop out and ult you.
Yep.
So I've been enjoying my holiday a little bit. So I took about 2 days off. I know drastic times come for drastic measures, people, or the other way around probably is how that saying goes. But I've been enjoying playing with some patrons, catching up on my YouTube, and I have been spamming a lot of other things like Dragon Ball Super. I'm all caught up. I'm caught up on Drifters and my anime scene. And we had like, I'm not kidding you guys, we have 4 volleyball tournaments from December 24th until January 8th. So I skipped one. I was not going on the Christmas Eve one. I had 2 back-to-back the last 2 days. So I'm like completely beat. Come home, hook up with one of our brand new patrons, which we'll shout him out here in a minute, Savor, along with others. And I finally climbed up to 2174, which is not a huge accomplishment, but it's my season high currently. And we're slowly getting there, playing tons and tons of Ana. And it's been crazy. We had a couple really nuts Korean players on our team. One of them is a little bit weak in his English, but was a lot better than a lot of the Koreans that literally don't join. So it was helpful. Optimistic that Platinum is in sight. It may not be this week or next week, but I'm excited on the horizon.
Nice. Yeah. Slow and steady. That's the way to go, man.
Yeah. So let's just take a quick second and let you guys know what Patreon is, what it does, before we kind of go through the year in review, because we have a little bit more to talk about Patreon this year, because it affects directly with one of our goals for the show. So Andres, I'm going to actually turn it over to you just real quick. Why don't you shout out our sponsors this week at the diamond level?
Sounds good. Again, thanks to our scientist level sponsors. You guys are super awesome for supporting the show on the highest level. And as a reward, or as to give you guys back, a little shout out to you guys. RC Crispy. You can also follow him on Twitter at twitter.com/crispy_RCer. How do you pronounce that? Crispy Arcer? RCER. And you can also follow him on his Twitch TV/RC Crispy. You can also follow another one of our sponsors, Magic, on his Twitter, a bit like Magic. And we have a couple new patrons this week. Thanks for joining the family, guys. You guys are super awesome. We got Eddie B, Brad L, Anthony Jacob, and Garrett F, which is Zvor, right? The guy you were playing with?
Yeah, the guy I've been queuing with.
Nice.
Yeah. He's got about 100 hours on Ana and has a backup account that he's been helping me climb with. So it's been really helpful. But yeah, that's what we're doing with Patreon, guys. It helps us with the show, with upgrades. I don't want to say too much because it's a part of the show, so we'll skip back to that later. But if you guys are at the platinum level, which I believe is the $2.50 per show level, then if you've committed to that, then you are completely good for the VOD submission guide. To submit a VOD, and Andres will do a quick little coach sesh and send it back to you. And if it's all in well, we may have some updates on how these VOD things will be hitting our YouTube in the future. But that being said, Andres, are you ready?
Let's
ready
do
to
it.
go through this?
All right. I am ready.
Okay, so we're going to basically just bounce back and forth. Like, sometimes we'll park on these a little bit more, but we just want to talk about some of the highlights for us and some of the highlights for Overwatch that we have encountered since game launch, basically. And we'll just tell you a little bit about the chronology and the growth, and then kind of our opinions on a couple of them that are probably going to be Overwatch related, because we don't want to talk about us too much. But here we go. So April 6th is the very first ever Omnic Lab show recording. So we posted the show between the 6th and the 9th. But boy, howdy, during closed beta, Andres and I were busy, weren't we?
Oh, yeah. We were busy playing the game.
Making graphics, playing the game.
Yeah, coming up with the name of the show. It was when everything was coming together. We wanted to get a little head start too. The show hadn't released at that time, and we were like, well, we might as well just release in the closed beta and see if anyone can follow us. And during that time, the show was the smallest it's ever been. It was just Rob and me. We had maybe like the Discord channel maybe set up, and it was like 4 people in
2
there.
of our admin.
Yeah, that was about it. All right, then moving
it was
up.
A very small community.
Oh yeah, like the smallest. Moving up to May 24th. That's when Overwatch is officially released. The game comes out and everyone can play it. Super big date. We were all waiting for that. And I think up until that point, we were not getting very many listeners, right? Like our downloads were very small. And even though we had like a small following, it was not probably until the 24th when we really felt like we were getting listened to. We got a big wave of you guys that I guess everyone was starting to get hungry for the content because Overwatch came out, and there we were.
Yeah, and like on launch day, to give you a little bit more of the numbers, we give you some numbers here and there, hopefully not to bore you, but we had about 450-ish people that were like regularly subscribed to downloading content at that time on the 24th on launch day. And we had only had 7 episodes produced, which is actually not bad. But what we really wanted to do was try to set up like a general consensus, like this is what this role does, kind of like your baseline content. And then we also made a 7th show, which is like lore. It was kind of interesting, right? But all of these shows are obviously some of our least downloaded shows, but they were not just our least downloaded shows, but I think that is a lot of basic information. A lot of you guys that are listening to the show are actually like mid-gold, platinum, or higher, which has surprised me, to be honest. But I think that has to do with how the Overwatch ranked system has kind of been kind of janky. But yeah, so you guys are probably looking for more of those advanced tips and stuff.
Yep. Moving on into June to the middle of the summer. So Overwatch has been out for a couple of months, and we have released about 5 more shows since then. And that's when we really started feeling like, hey, I think people actually like our show. We were up to about 2,900 downloads per episode at that point, and it's probably been the most successful show that Rob and I have made so far. So at that point, we were like, okay, I think we can call ourselves a show. I think people are listening to us, and it was a little mind blowing in the beginning to just think, almost 3,000 people were downloading our episodes and listening to us ramble on about Overwatch. Hopefully not too much rambling. Hopefully you guys do get something out of it, but it felt good. And that's when we really felt, as Rob and me, and especially that's when the Discord community started picking up a little bit too, and all of you guys started joining and sharing your experiences over there. That was really awesome to see that start.
Absolutely. We started like really gearing that specifically. Like I remember Andres and I sitting down. I was like, dude, I may be leaving the country here pretty soon. My job interview stuff had just come in. They're like, hey, you're hired, like right around game launch, early June. And,
yeah, that was a big life change for you. We had like a bunch
of powwows. So we were like, okay, so what do? We got to roll out we had like these crazy meetings about rolling out Patreon, stuff we wanted to do with Discord. Stuff was just growing so fast. We're just like trying to put fires out more than it was like excitement for the growth. Like obviously we were excited, but it was just crazy. There's so much stuff going on.
Yeah,
so many irons in the fire.
It was very crazy. But it was definitely when the show started picking up, and even with your move to Japan, I think we both agreed that it was something that was definitely worth continuing and something we both really enjoyed, and that it was obvious other people were enjoying too.
It was a lot of fun. But then on the 28th of June, so this is fast forward a little bit towards the end of June, that was the day when Overwatch got competitive and everyone was going bananas. This is like basically a month and a couple days after game launch, and everybody was just bursting at the seams to play competitive.
Yeah.
And just a few weeks later, we got Ana, which is like insane.
Yeah, big changes for the game. We started getting a lot of requests for in-depth episodes and the going deeps. We had done maybe like one going deep at that point, and it got really, really popular. And up until this day, we hear you guys. We hear you. We know that that is what you guys want to listen to. You guys love the going deeps. We can see it in the numbers and also in the response with these episodes. We're working on a lot more of those for the upcoming year. We promise we want to get at least through all of the heroes once. And but yeah, that's when we really started like getting a feel for what you guys wanted once competitive came out, and we started going in depth in some of these heroes. You guys like really dug into those. It was really exciting. And then yeah, at the end of July, Rob finally leaves the USA and goes pursue teaching in Japan. And there you are, man, on the other side of the world.
Here we are.
Now we record it in opposite schedules.
Pinging everything.
Yeah. But I think we've made it worked out so far. And I think that you can speak more to this than I can. But it seems like everything over there has been really good for you, and you're finally settled over there.
Yeah, I mean, we're settling with the living situation. It's kind of just become the norm. We haven't quite hit any heavy or minor culture shock yet. I know it's coming, but man, let me tell you, being married and having a partner at the house and doing 2 podcasts with some great communities engaged has really softened the blow for culture shock. And I've got a great set of people here that are kind of looking out for me. And company's great. Love teaching. Still struggling with the language though, so that's something on my end that I have to work on. But it's pretty fun.
Hey, you were teaching me this morning, so you've definitely improved in some way.
Yeah, we're learning at least some things, right? All right, and then in October, Omnic Lab actually hit our 26th episode, which sounds like, well, that's a random episode to highlight. Why did you say that? Well, 26 is half of 52, which means 6 months. So we actually started podcasting for 6 months in October, which is a big milestone for podcasts. They don't. Some of them last years and years and years. Others of them only last a few months. Andres and I are in the long haul, so we're sticking it out, man. We enjoy it too much.
Absolutely. And, yeah, it's worth mentioning that the podcast is still not a year old. We are getting there, but it's not till February that we turn a little 1 year. But so far, it's been going great. This 8 months now have been super, super awesome. But yeah, even though we're still young and are in infancy, there's still a lot more for us to give, and we're gonna be here for a long time. All right, moving on. During October, we also grab our first interview, or top 500 player CS. We did a little exclusive interview with him. We had a lot of requests for console episodes until that point, but neither Rob or me really play on the console. It's something that we wanted to explore and we wanted to give back to you guys. So we brought on CS. He kindly reached out to the show and was like, hey, I play console a lot. I know my way around it. I can help you guys out. It was a great episode. All of the console players really liked it. And even better, afterwards, CS jumped on board and has been super active in our Discord community, organizing the console players and making teams with them, giving them advice, creating a community, a little haven for them over there. So we're super grateful for you, man. Thanks for all the effort you've put. And we're definitely talking with him about maybe bringing him back on to do a mini segment, kind of like a little news report of what's going on in the console world, and keep you guys updated there, because we know that a lot of our listeners are also console players, and you guys are also interested in all that information. So we keep you guys in mind.
Absolutely. We're trying to make that a little bit more of a regular segment, maybe monthly, maybe bi-monthly. We're still exploring that. We're trying to get some good schedule with CS. We also don't want to interfere too much with the existing shows and making them too long. I know that lots of you out there approve of these super long shows and have vocalized that, but we also know that there are very few total amount of people that are being vocal, and there's a lot of you out there that are just listening and lurking and enjoying. So we want to make sure we're sensitive to those people that are more on that time sensitive schedule, or people that are listening to like mounds and mounds of podcasts. And we know that you guys have a lot of content to burn through in a week. So during November, Overwatch hit its 6 months anniversary since launch. So how did they celebrate 6 months? Well, they took you to BlizzCon. So they had the World Cup. They had the special news of Sombra and the ARG completion and the hero announced along with Oasis. And then they also made the big announcement of the Overwatch League, which is basically like the MLB or the NBA or the NHL, however you want to look at it, the National League or World League of Overwatch
Like
that's scheduled for quarter 3.
It's like the NFL
2017.
or FIFA of Overwatch.
Yeah, that's right. So this is the biggest shebang that they've kind of put together, that we're probably not going to see the first stuff until quarter 3 2017 is from what they said, and 2018 is kind of like the first like big thing coming, right? But there's so much information we don't know, and it is a little bit far out, so I'm glad they announced it. But
I'm gonna intervene.
I'm hype.
I'm gonna intervene a little bit over here, and like BlizzCon was super exciting. You know, Sombra comes out, even though we were kind of expecting her for a long time now, and then E-League or the not E-League but the Overwatch League gets announced. The new map gets announced, but I think that they're still holding out on us. I think that there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we really don't know anything about, especially where the like game features and stuff. I know that the Overwatch team has a lot of things planned for the game, like bringing replays in, which would be amazing, or a theater mode where you could actually spectate the matches, or it would be super great if you could just go into a replay and have like God mode where you can hover anywhere in the map, pause anywhere, and just like look at the situation. That for like or team practices, that would be invaluable to have. Or for pro teams, I'm sure that a tool like that would be so invaluable to learning and elevate the level of the game. Likewise, I know that they want to add a lot of other features like new game modes and different maps, expand the game. I know that they want to add a custom game server. They've talked about it live. They did it on BlizzCon, and I think that's when the game like will truly like sediment itself. Like once players can create their own custom maps for training or for fun, and like really play the game exactly how they wanted to play it. I know that some crazy stuff is gonna come from there. Some of the craziest games and most popular games have come from things like that, like Dota or League of Legends, for example.
3v3 just exploded.
So I think that there's a lot of the game that's still to come that they haven't really announced officially yet, because they're all really big features and a lot of really ambitious plans. So I'm looking forward to all of that. Aside from whatever got announced at BlizzCon, like the map, Oasis was still to come. So a lot of really exciting stuff that this game still has to provide. And we're there. We are ready to cover all of it and dive in head first and help you guys, you know, guide you through that sea of features and stuff that is coming up. Cool. And now, in the current day, since June, we've just been really blown away by how much we have grown. Our Discord community has gone so big. At this point, it's just impossible for us to keep up with all of the messages. I just pop in there every once in a while and try to live in the moment, try to talk to the people who who are there in the moment, because it's when we created the Discord, I remember I would obsess about reading every single message. Like if somebody posted in there, I would read it. And nowadays, it would just be a fool's errand to try to do that. You just go in there.
You try being on the other end of the world and try to catch up.
Yeah, there's like 500 new messages since the last time I like checked. I was like, well, I don't think I can catch up with that.
It's getting to the point where it's even tough to skim it in the morning for me. Like some days I just like, nah, it's not worth it. Too much info.
But at the same time, it's really cool because there's always people going on, and because you guys are all over the world, it's like at all times of the day, there's somebody in there like saying something. I do know that you guys like hanging out in the mornings on our Discord for some reason. I was looking at some of the activity the other day, and for some reason, everybody likes talking at between like 8 and 9 in the morning. So either we have a lot of like early commuters, or do we have a lot of like international listeners that are like listening later in the evening or something? I don't know what it is, but the morning times in the Discord are super active for some reason.
Yeah, me and the Aussies like to chat it up, man, I guess. Because our evening is your morning.
Yeah. And likewise, same with the downloads. Our numbers have pretty much doubled since like the summer, and you guys are just keep consuming our shows, and I don't know, we're flabbergasted sometimes by it, but it's exciting and definitely keeps us going.
Yeah, and since we got our first interview, we actually landed 2 more big ticket guys that I mean, I think they're big ticket guys. I may not be to you, but they were really fun for us to interview and hang out with. But we got Skyline, who's a content creator and Overwatch coach on YouTube. He has some really great stuff to watch on his YouTube channel. We always push people to go check him out because he's just so helpful. He's literally like the embodiment of what we want to be at Masters to help people out. He's kind of like my honorary YouTuber. Like, I want to be you, senpai, to use Japanese. But then we also landed Phases Fact Fiction, which is kind of sort of a, or I'm sorry, Skyline was also even kind of like paired with Halvesies Going Deep with Ana. And then we had Fact Fiction, who is a tank main for Phase. And he's kind of like, again, more or less our on and off show for Reinhardt, Going Deep. But it was amazing to have those guys. I was really sad that I couldn't make either of those interviews. We had some scheduling conflicts, and then we finally lined them up, and then like something fell through and I couldn't make it, or they couldn't make it, and so they had to reschedule and I couldn't make it, so we just made it happen. But I'm really pumped. I benefited a lot from those shows personally, just from listening back to them like you guys would. Right before I posted them, I refuse to post shows that I'm not a part of until I listen to them. So it was a lot of fun to listen to. That is kind of like our big wrap up.
Yeah, and definitely
So, Andres,
we want to bring some more interviews like that. I think the interview with Skyline and Fact Fiction were super, super educational for us and for everyone who listened to them. They are experts on their heroes, and they spend a lot of time perfecting their play. So it's great having guys that have spent this much time and have like some tricks that they can share with everyone on how to improve on the show. And it's definitely something we want to keep doing. It's almost impossible to book people for interviews during the holidays. They're just too busy. So we're kind of like waiting it out. And hopefully once next year comes around and things settle down a little bit, we can get some more of these awesome people on the show for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really hoping that we can get somebody from my end of the globe, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we can get some Koreans on their Korean team. I would love that if they speak some English and I don't have to translate. That would be awesome. But yeah, let's do something fun. We're gonna talk about our Patreon here. Got some cool updates for you guys. Some announcements, maybe. So, let's start with the second point here in our show notes, Andres. We have achieved what we didn't think was possible, like in our Patreon. We have our second highest goal that we set when we were just sitting down. It's like, okay, so when we get to this level, what do we want? Or what do we need? So this is what we need. How do we get there? What levels on Patreon get us there? And then kind of like trickle down. So we kind of like thought of the first, 2 or 3 things. We thought of some ways to get back with like gaming sessions with you guys, VOD reviews for patrons. We've restructured Patreon to being per episode instead of per month because it helps with donations. It also helps with like, it's just easier to understand, I feel like. And a lot of you guys have said the same. But guys, we're at the level where we want to start committing to like doing game nights like regularly. And we've only run 3 since our first like 8 months of going, and now we're supposed to be doing these like bi-weekly. So I really quickly went over to Patreon and I updated it because I don't think we could do that. So now we're going to like once a month. If we can do it once a month, whether one of us is there or Discord was running it, we're going to try to get that kind of to you as a game night feature. This is mixed with grouping for comp, grouping for quick play, running in arcades, doing 3v3 matches. It was a lot of fun last time, and it lasted for hours and hours and hours, and Andres and I went in shifts for it, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. Now that we're at this goal, there's a lot of things that are looking up for the show. Like you said, Rob, like we have gotten more support on Patreon than we thought we would initially. Like Patreon was just like something we created just to try it out and see if, like what was it all about. And you guys have been super awesome to us over there, and the support that you guys have given us over there has really helped us grow and develop the show. To give you guys a few ideas, Rob was able to invest in a studio grade microphone. We also had a very generous patron at the beginning of the show donate the mic that I personally use. I was able to get some nice voice processing stuff for it. We're able to invest in some software for editing and doing all this stuff, as
Not to
well
mention cover
as
website fees.
yeah, we covered all of the website fees that we invested in the beginning. And then I was also able to finance a new graphics card thanks to it. Now I don't have to play with terrible FPSs, and everything looks nice and crisp. And I think that now, thanks to your support, Rob is considering even upgrading his own computer so he doesn't have to play Overwatch in his laptop with all the kinks that come with that, and finally be able to enjoy Overwatch the minute it's supposed to be in the Master PC.
It is great because I was sat down for a couple hours with Crispy in our admin channel. He kind of like walked me through like, this is what you're gonna need. This is good. This is PC stuff. So we looked at some options, checked my credit card, checked some shipping, which is absurd if you try to get something from the States over here, by the way.
Oh, I imagine.
But I think looking at that and talking to my wife, we can probably work out some good financing to pay this thing off, maybe even more aggressively. If I put in some of my own money to get it paid off sooner rather than later, I think the Patreon's really going to help me get a new gaming PC, which is also going to help me not just play Overwatch, but kind of help our guys that I work with in graphics to kind of work at those things faster, because the SSD and a desktop is just going to be better with that graphics card being a 1080 than this little like mobile one on my laptop. And then I can use this laptop at work to actually start doing stuff for PowerPoint, for teaching. So it's just like a big overall upgrade that's for the show, for kind of life in general. But I really am thankful for our patrons, like stepping up and making sure that they believe in the content with their money. You know, like that's just says so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And
really
not only to mention, now that we actually, every month we can actually count on some money coming in from the show. From this point on, we want to start thinking about some upgrades to the show, like on the graphics department, maybe improve some of our music and our bumpers. Also, we are really interested in going into the video realm a little more. We stream our shows live, and we do Twitch for the most part whenever we're recording our shows. But I think most of the magic happens behind the scenes, or iTunes shows are a lot more post-produced. They sound a lot crisper, more how we intended them to sound in the beginning. But having said that, we want to bring our videos and our live stuff up on par with that. We want our quality to keep improving. We want the image of the show to keep improving. We want everything to sound even better. And having a budget to do this is actually very helpful, because it helps us bring other people in that we can compensate for their time to, make the show better for everyone. So we're really excited about this year to come. I feel like the Omnic Lab is in a really good spot right now. We both, Rob and I, know what you guys want. We have a very clear direction of where to take the podcast now, and we count with a small budget every month that hopefully can help us bring it even further the upcoming year. So Patreon has been super awesome. We are really glad that we started it, and even happier that you guys actually believe in us and want to see us grow and help us with that. So thank you for everyone who helps out over there. We are doing our best to spend your money wisely and use it for the benefit of the show.
Yeah, we don't take it lightly, because we know that this is a podcast that is supported by people. This isn't supported by stuff. We've gotten approached by one entity already about sponsorship that we considered, kind of went through the gamut. We also went through some other stuff with merch, trying to work on with that. And it's just stuff was kind of just not really fit or not really worked out in the long run for us. And I don't know. I feel like for me personally, it speaks leaps and bounds to have something financially supported that is great to continue on. and also to support that show's endeavors to like just reinvest it back into the show, reinvest it back in the community, because it's community money, instead of like, hey, this is a random sponsorship that's taking advantage of, you know, this company. Like, obviously we're not closed-minded to sponsors, but it is cool to say, you know, we've made it this far, which is you. And it really speaks to how awesome you guys are. And we are so thankful for people like you that are supporting the show. Even just the people that are not supporting the show financially, just throwing iTunes reviews, that helps us so much. You guys have no idea. Andres and I were just looking at stuff in the iTunes store, like, holy crap.
Yeah, just being active in the community, listening to the shows and writing into the shows, sending us emails, feedback, or asking us questions, or even like some other members of the community, some of the more knowledgeable ones just pop up into the Discord and they help out other members. Honestly, like that's all. That's all we want. All we want is to create a community of people that want to learn Overwatch and want to improve themselves and want to be nice to each other. No toxicity, no bashing, just pure, hey, let's learn the game and let's play it at our best of our abilities. That's what we want to build.
Right. So if you guys are curious, I'm sure some of you are dying to know, what are the top 5 Omnic Lab shows as far as the numbers are concerned? Well, we can tell you. So number 5 and number 3, actually, I'll pair with this. Surprise, surprise, are going deep. So we have the Lucio show at number 5 and Reaper at number 3. And number 4, we have defense and setting up. So this is kind of like our whole setup. Like, how do you go about doing defense as a whole? And what is set up, like in the pre 30 seconds before they open the gates? Then we had number 2 is our solo queue episode, believe it or not. So it's the top 3 heroes to solo queue, even though we say over and over and over again, don't solo queue. There's a lot of people that do solo queue, so we did a solo queue show.
There's nothing wrong with solo queue. You just might have a better experience if you have somebody there who's on your team, like on your literal team.
That's true. Yeah. Someone you know and can speak your language in the chat and not be ignored.
Yeah.
So that's up there. And then those are episodes number 16, 9, and 24, if you're wondering. So 16 is Lucio, 9 is defense, 24 is Reaper, 13 is solo queue, and number 1 is actually number 11, offense and pressure. This is the highest number of downloads that we've got for any show. Apparently, you guys like attacking more than you like defending.
There's a lot of DPS players listening to our show.
There's a lot of deeps.
It's cool to see which are the top shows. Definitely, the Going Deeps are super popular. We also had a Going Deep on Reinhardt and Anna, but we didn't label it as Going Deep since those were blended in with our interviews. I think from this point going forward, every time we do a special analysis on a hero, we're definitely going to label it Going Deep, just for you guys to know easier that is the episode that we're focusing on. And also because it's clear that you guys love these episodes. We've also gotten a lot of emails, tweets, and stuff, and Discord messages about doing more Going Deeps. So we'll definitely do it. And it's just interesting that the number 1 is offense and pressure. We also released it a long time ago as one of our first episodes, number 11. And I think that it was when a lot of people were just getting into the game, and like the game had just come out around that time. So a lot of people are trying to really get the grips on how to attack and how to engage.
Yeah, it's also really interesting that some of our shortest and smallest, most succinct titles on iTunes have been some of the most popular ones, because I guess these are shows that people are revisiting, or people are jumping into the show brand new, and they'll listen to like 1 or 2 shows, say, oh, the most recent shows are great, and then they look through the archives and like, oh, this looks interesting offense, this looks interesting defense, or Lucio or Reaper. It's very easy to identify. So we're going to try to work this coming year, 2017, to give you content that is easy to understand in the archives. So obviously this is probably not a show that people are going to revisit in the archives, so we're not foreseeing that, right? But if you guys are listening new, that's a goal of ours. We're going to try to make the shows titled more accurately for you to find what you're looking for in the past. If you miss a show, or you, for whatever reason, just go out of the country and you lose internet access for a few days because of the zombie apocalypse, but then you're like, what? They're still podcasting. I need my Overwatch fix. So
Yeah, and honestly, a lot of the shows stand the test of time. Like they don't go outdated that fast. Some of the going deeps, even though the meta changes and stuff, the core gameplay of the heroes usually remains the same unless something crazy happens with like the Symmetra change, where she honestly got reworked. At that point, yeah, it might be a little outdated. But for most of the other heroes, like honestly, the advice and the gameplay style that we describe in those works even now with the new meta and stuff. Let's move on a little bit to some Discord fun facts. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time over here, but we thought it was fun just for you guys to know like what the community looks like over there. Right now, we have over 700 members that are part of our Discord channel. Most of you lurkers, there's a lot of people in there that like popping in and just reading some messages, kind of like staying in touch. The Discord also helps as a way for us to announce when we go live on stream, or when I'm playing with the team and streaming it, or when there's a game night, or when there's a special announcement for the show. It's a great way to stay updated with what is going on in our community. So I think a lot of people use it for that. But even so, there's about 6,000 messages that gets exchanged daily on average on the Discord.
Jeez.
So a lot of info going on through there all day. And people are grouping up pretty much all the time.
People from all around the world, guys. Like always. That's like the number one thing that people use in our Discord is just game discussion and grouping. That's literally all it is.
Yeah, so if you want to group up with other people from this community or just stay up to date and you're still not part of our Discord, feel free to join it. We do a lot of stuff over there. Discord.me/Omnic Lab, correct?
That's right. Don't type it into Discord. It only works in the browser.
All right. And to wrap up the show, we wanted to answer some emails that you guys have sent. We kind of have a little backlog over here. There's two that I've been meaning to answer that I thought were really good and worth mentioning in the show. So since we're doing a community podcast, we're going to go ahead and answer those for you guys. All right, let's go into the first one. This one is from Jared, and he says, "Hey guys, I absolutely love your show. I look forward to every episode. I would really like to see a feature episode on dealing with tilt and toxicity in Overwatch, namely in competitive mode. This is something that I have struggled with for a long time and probably the biggest thing holding me back on the ladder right now. I haven't been able to find any tangible solutions to dealing with this and would love to hear you guys' opinions." All right, Jared. Well, thanks for writing into the show.
Yeah.
It's a really tricky question. I'm sure we could do a full episode just based on this, but I'm going to tell you one thing, and that is that there's not a single answer for this. There's not a simple solution that you can just do to get rid of toxicity. I wish it was that simple. I wish I could just give you the 3 words that would make it go away, but I can tell you how I deal with toxicity. And I can tell you that Overwatch is a game that can get very heated up, and people are very competitive in this game. And some people sometimes don't realize the consequences of the way that they speak or how they approach other people. Sometimes being behind the anonymity of the internet gives people this false sense of, I guess, strength, and also makes them think that they are allowed to say anything that they want, because you're not really seeing the other person in the face. You can't really see the consequences of your words. So it's almost like some people block that away and don't even bother thinking about it. But the only person you can have control over is yourself. You cannot control over other people. And, that's something that you learn very early in life. People will just act the way that they want to act, and there's nothing you can do about it. But you can do something about you and how you play the game, how you approach people. You can try to be a friendly person that is trying to motivate the team to win. And I would say that the main thing that has helped me reduce the toxicity in my games is just be an accepting guy. Don't be closed-minded. Like, I know it's super frustrating when you join a queue and somebody insta picks Symmetra and you guys are on attack and you're like, okay, well, This is not
Sombra.
very orthodox.
Bastion.
I know this is not meta right now, and a lot of people's first reaction is to be like, "Hey man, can you just switch? That hero is not good." And immediately there's just this negative vibe on the team. The other person is not maybe willing to switch because you're kind of patronizing them, and at that point it might become more of a matter of pride of like, no, I'm gonna stay in this hero just to show you guys that I can do it. But then you guys don't believe in him, so you guys are not really making plays with this guy, and then this guy gets even saltier because he's dying and he can do better with this hero, but nobody's helping him because everybody distrusts him. So the team kind of falls apart from the inside out, and I think that is the worst thing that you can do in the game. You have to realize that it's a 6v6 game, and you need everybody to win the game. Like, sure, you can outplay the team in a 5v6 and ignoring your sixth player, but you're just making things harder for you. So I think in general, it's just a good idea to be friendly and accepting. And even if other people are not playing the game the way you want them to play the game, just adapt, be open-minded and be like, okay, how can we win with this Symmetra? And there's been a lot of games which I've won with that Hanzo main or that Bastion player or the Symmetra that refuses to switch. It's just a matter of accepting the facts, being friendly, and then also just play the game. Don't focus so much on what other people are doing. So don't focus your attention in how you want them to play the game. Just focus on how you're playing the game around them and how you can take the most advantage of these things. I think that at the end of the day, that makes your team a lot stronger than telling people what to do or getting into a fight. The worst thing you can do is start fighting with your own teammates. At that point, you stop paying attention to the game and you start focusing on them a lot more than on your enemies, and just your overall play goes down. I know that eventually some players will be super toxic and will come at you for no reason, and there's nothing that you can do about them, right? They're mad already and they've had a bad day and they're taking it out on you basically. And at that point, the only thing you can do is mute them and ignore them. If they're the kind of people who are already tilted and want to ruin the game for others, don't let them. Just mute them and move on. Focus on the game. You're here to play the game, not to argue or fight with other people. If there's no reasoning with them, then there's no reason for you to waste their time on these people, and just try to ignore them as much as you can and realize that
the mute button helps.
Yeah,
the mute button helps, guys. It really does. And some of our top tier players will tell you sometimes the best games have been played doing the mute.
Yes, yeah. Sometimes you just have to focus on the game. But I feel like I've talked enough about this. Do you want to add anything over here?
I think you covered pretty much every angle. So let's go to the next one.
Sounds good. How about you start this one?
We have Puppy Attack from Xbox. So this guy says, really enjoy the show. Look forward to each week. I like how you discuss the game on All Skill. So this is a over sumo analysis for us. And we really wanted to clear this up before the end of 2016 for you. So he says, I've downloaded over sumo after hearing about it on your pod. I like how it's broken down and use it to find areas of improvement. It's been super helpful for identifying strengths and weaknesses, but it feels like it's a little bit of an oversimplification of how you share the results within the app that are worth clarifying for the listeners so they don't misinterpret what they're saying. So he's going to break down a little bit for you. He says the ranks, quote unquote, air quotes, OverSumo uses do not follow the same system as the game itself, even though it uses the same titles like Grandmaster, Master Diamond. In the app, though, these have their own ranking system, which is basically will place you in the top 1 to 10, 20% of a given strategy or a statistic.
Yeah.
A given stat, yeah. So what people should not do is misinterpret that they play a character at a quote-unquote master level because that's what the app says. While it does say that you can help understand what you're doing better or worse, people should not confuse themselves with performing at an actual SR level of Masters or Diamond at that level on a given character. The interpretation of the stats, the second point, themselves are flawed. So I'm a gold in Season 3, but I look on Oversumo and it says I play Mercy at Platinum 3. My defensive assists are at Diamond, and offensive assists are at Masters. So while this means I probably play a decent Mercy within gold, someone who is actually in Diamond on the ladder while playing Mercy is much better than I am because they are playing against a much better competition. So all these stats I really say is that I can perform in the top percentage points while playing against people in my given tier or skill rating segment, not that his Mercy is actually worth playing at Diamond and Masters. So these are some important points that I think being this player that sent the email that everyone uses the app should understand and not to maybe inflate their decision understanding of the
conflict.
gameplay.
Yeah. I think
conflict. Yeah.
So just to give you guys a little background, since we mentioned Oversumo on the podcast, it's probably like one of the things have gotten like the most emails, tweets, and Discord messages about. It's been a lot of people starting using it. A lot of people asked us what the app was. A lot of people like it. But I think that we were not super clear on how to read the app or what it does when we mentioned it on the show. So we've gotten a lot of emails and stuff saying like, hey, but that's not how you use the app. So Puppy Attack.
That's not it.
Yeah,
that's not what it's for.
Puppy Attack sent us a great email basically explaining how the app works. And we just wanted to read it to you guys and kind of like clarify that. It's not like we're trying to sponsor the app or anything. We just kind of happened to mention it once, and then there's been just like a huge conversation about it.
What did you let us know?
But yeah, basically what Puppy Attack is saying is that when you look at your rankings in the app, it's not necessarily that you are a master player. When you see, oh my God, I played soldier and master over here. What that means is that your performance at your current rank based on the people that you were fighting against. So if you're in gold, against other gold players, but if you're in diamond, you'll be playing against other diamond players. What the app measures is your performance at that current ranking based on the stats. And the stats are per life. It's not like the regular stats in the game where most of them are per game. These ones are stats per life. So how much can you do in one life? So for example, for people like Soldier is measuring how much damage, how many kills, how many Helix rockets you landed, how many headshots are you landing before you die. And it's comparing it against other people around your level, since that is where you're playing in the ladder. So let's say if you're a gold player and you have a great game with Soldier where you're just killing everyone in the other team, you barely die, you die like once. Then you go to Oversumo, all your stats will be like Grandmaster at that point.
Grandmaster.
Because in comparison to the other people you're playing, you played way above their average level. But if that same gold player was to be put against a bunch of master players, he would probably perform at like a bronze level with Soldier, because everyone else relatively is performing a lot better than he is. And this time he doesn't have such an easy time just killing everyone and not dying as much. So basically that's kind of what Puppy Attack is trying to clarify. Oversumo is still helpful to help you gauge how you're performing at your level. Just when you see Master Soldier, don't be like, oh, I'm a master player, I shouldn't be in gold. It just means, hey, you're performing really well at your current level, which should translate in you winning some games, although in a 6v6 game, that is not always the case. No. But it can at least help you gauge your performance currently against relatively other people of your level. Okay.
Yeah, and let's interject one more thing that we had with our Skyline interview that if you guys hadn't listened to is really helpful, is that you do battle analysis like every fight. If there's a team fight going on, what happened? Like just do some quick stat checks. Like if you're playing Ana, for example, is the easiest way to do it. Did you land a sleep dart? Or did you miss a sleep dart? Would that have switched the battle in your favor, or that made the battle easier and you would have lost less people? Did your biotic grenade use defensive offensively? What was the effect? So you're doing like battle by battle type analysis instead of like hard and fast stats. There's always going to be value to hard and fast stats. Don't get me wrong. But some of the best way to know what's actually happening is what's going on with the objective, because sometimes dying is worth it. Sometimes dying is not worth it, depending if you're playing a mercy or not, right? And who's dying, it might be worth it. So you have to know your team comp, you have to know the objective, you have to know a lot of other factors. And you also have to know Oversumo may be flawed because of how accuracy works in the game. Sometimes you're using accuracy as not something that really matters. You're playing Junkrat, you're spamming a corner. You don't need to hit all of your shots. You're denying space at that point. Okay, so just keep a lot of those things and factors in mind, and always look at what the pros like Skyline and others are saying as a whole, more than maybe one little app that's telling you that you're a grandmaster in the silver tier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I actually got one more email. Sorry, I posted this underneath the next segment on accident. While we were recording, I got my phone vibrated. This is our last email.
Let's do it. We still have a little
time. He says, from Rodney, he says, "Hey guys, I enjoy listening. I just found the show. I am new to the game. Wow, you jumped in late. Hopefully you're still enjoying it. Started playing a few days before the current season and started for competitive. Happened to qualify in gold, then crashed hard. Don't play often, maybe 4 matches a day. That's a lot, I would say. 4 matches a day is pretty often. I've hit a wall in my play, and lately I've been come up with this question. I play Pharah, do well with her. I rode on the back of 1900 SR. Lately I've been getting into groups with players that either take too many damage classes or they take Pharah first. This leads me to play other characters I'm less comfortable with. So my question is, when forced to play characters outside of your comfort, which characters feel related or operate in similar fashion that makes the transition easier? I'm going to pass this to you, Andres. I feel like you can do this in a succinct way.
Sure. All right, Rodney. My first advice is expand your hero pool a little bit. Overwatch just happens to be a game where you will not always have your first choice, either because somebody else takes it or because your first choice might actually just not make sense with the rest of the composition that you're playing. And because you don't always have control of what other people pick, because everyone's good at something different, right? So you kind of have to work with what you have. And you say that Pharah is kind of like your main hero. You're probably getting comfortable with her and good at her. But I feel like once you get comfortable with a hero, it's time to kind of like move on and get comfortable with another hero. You do mention that you want to maybe try some other heroes, so which are similar and stuff. If you're playing a lot of Pharah, you're playing a projectile class, so you're getting used to aiming at heroes with a timing, right? You're kind of trying to predict where they're going and then aiming ahead of them and shooting the projectile, or you're generally shooting at a general area, which is not the same as playing a hit scan hero like McCree or Soldier, which you literally have to place the cursor right on top of the hero and fire with them. So I'd recommend, if you really want to stay around that comfort level, you can stick with other projectile classes. These can be things like Mei or Junkrat or even Genji. Or although I like categorizing Genji in more of the mobility category rather than the projectiles, because his gameplay relies more on how good you are moving around than how good you are at aiming your projectiles at a long distance. Although you do need to learn projectile with Genji, or like Lucio, for example. It's another projectile hero, and that one is in a completely different class as a support. Zarya is also projectile-ish style where you learn to love your bombs. Yeah. So if you want to stick with the projectiles, and a lot of people do this, a lot of people stick with like all hit scan or all projectiles. That way you can kind of hone your timing, and even if you switch hero to hero, you still have kind of like that sense of prediction and timing, and you can really develop that. But again, like the more heroes you're comfortable with, the better you'll be at the game in general. Because I feel like each hero teaches you the game in a slightly different way. Like, for example, with McCree, you learn how to play the hero in a very defensive way, like always being behind cover because you're so vulnerable, but you're also very precise. So it teaches you how to be very steady with your mouse, how to do very precise flick shots and stuff. But then if you're playing a hero like Pharah, she's teaching you how to maneuver maybe really up in the sky while taking shots from a really long distance and rocketing stuff at a really long stuff. But if you're playing like Genji, then you're learning like the movement of the game. You're learning how to dance around heroes and kite them and um, reach all the little nooks and crannies of the map and all the reverse pathways. So I think every hero has something to offer that can improve your gameplay. Pharah is a great hero at the lower rankings, but like you said, is also really popular. So a lot of people are looking to pick her. And sometimes if you're getting like too many DPS players in your team, like honestly, if you're the guy who decides to go Reinhardt or Zarya or even like Diva and it's like, okay, guys, I'll be the tank. Sometimes that is what makes you climb the most because the other team might be having the same problem where everyone wants to go DPS and the team that is less stubborn and decides to go with a more balanced comp sometimes is the one who ends up succeeding, and sometimes you have to be that one guy that is like I'll just switch.
And that's how I learned to be a support main. Story done. So I would recommend, honestly, like trying to get something similar, projectile based, or maybe similar playstyle. Pharah is one of the ones that's like verticality is really her focus, and there's not a whole lot of heroes that have straight verticality like as a primary function, so that's kind of difficult. But the projectile thing, you can run over to Zenyatta, then you can learn to support. Projectile does a little bit of healing, does lots of damage. You can even run over to tanks, like Andres was saying. Zarya may be like a little fusion of hit scanny, in your face, protective, and hit like projectile. So you may have that. All right. So what is next, Andres, for the Omnic Lab? What are we doing next? Is this our last segment or?
Yeah. To close out the show, we just kind of wanted to mention what we're looking forward on the next year and what you guys can expect from us. Hopefully, we don't have a time frame for some of these things, but it's the goals that we have set for next year. So first of all, we want to keep upgrading. Like we mentioned, we want to keep the quality up. There's still a few things like a little more decent streaming camera. We want Rob to have an audio compressor too, so he can come, his voice can come full strength. A couple of other computer parts to keep upgrading our rig so we can handle, all the streaming and all this video stuff, which is kind of demanding for the computer. We want to keep increasing the streaming for both of us. Hopefully we can get Rob a computer that is powerful enough. You'll be able to see his sweet face a little more popping up into the game, and we can actually stream together, do some matches, some more video content for you guys. So that is definitely in the horizon for the show. Likewise, in that related vein, we want to do some more VOD reviews. I've done some in the Discord, mainly on the coaching channel, where I just seen the VODs and I've tried giving like a detailed explanation using like different examples from their game of how they can improve. I think is worked really well for the people I've done it, but I want to take it a little step further. And if I can get actual recorded videos from some of you guys, maybe I can do a small video of it and post it in our YouTube for everyone to kind of learn and take advantage of that. Like I said, we want to expand our YouTube content. The VOD reviews is one of the ideas that we have. We also want to do maybe some more fun stuff that involves the game a lot more. It's really hard to explain certain concepts or do certain things with audio only when you have no visuals, because you really have to paint the picture on the listeners to try to like do some examples. But with video, you don't have that problem. You can be very literal. You can be like, hey, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the situation. This is the place and the heroes. I don't even have to like say it, right? You just see it.
You don't have to be the audio Bob Ross.
Yeah.
You can just hit this is it, guys.
Yeah, painting an entire landscape for you guys with words.
Happy little audios.
Yeah. But yeah, and we also want to overhaul the stream a little bit. We have some stuff in the works. Some of our listeners, or one of our listeners, is actually helping us with it. Once we have some more stuff developed, we want to mention a little more. But there are some art like overhauls and also some appearance overhauls that we want to do to the stream, make it sound and look a lot more official. And like I mentioned, more interviews, more going deeps, and also if the Patreon keeps growing and we can actually afford it, I would really want to start attending some more live events here in the US. I know that 2017 is going to be a great year for esports. We have like 3 dream hacks that are happening just in the US. 2 of them are actually really close to me. One of them is, I believe, in Texas, and the other one is going to be here in Atlanta. So super excited for that.
Yeah,
I want to start attending all those events. And of course, the big one, BlizzCon, would be the dream, but that is really expensive and something that right now we cannot afford. But if the podcast keeps growing, we definitely want to take it out into the street and, you know, do some live stuff with these events and have a presence in there. Hopefully the Omnic Lab can have a presence in some of the competitive stuff and Overwatch coming this year. So those are our dreams for the podcast. Those are some of our ambitions and things that we're looking forward to. Just kind of wanted to share with you guys and just make this episode a little more about you guys.
And the Overwatch memes that we'd like is Rob to be a Hanzo main and Andres to be a Genji main. So that's the show. But yeah, thanks you guys so much. If you stuck around this long, we appreciate it. We also wanted to let you guys know what is on the docket for our next show. We'd never have done this yet. So Andres and I talked last night. We want to do a Diva show. So we're going to do it going deep. We said we're going to want to do more, so we're going to do it. And Diva's really popular. Diva's really strong. So let's do it. So we're going to revisit tanks again. We'll be bringing you a Diva show. I'll be playing Summon, Quick Play, and 3v3s and solos, and hopefully in ranked. And Andres has got a lot of experience as well. So we'll be bringing that to you next week, aka next year. We hope you guys enjoyed 2016 with the Omnic Lab. We know that we can say with confidence that we enjoyed it. And so if you guys want to find us as a new listener or as an old one, you guys can find us with the tag Omnic Lab with no spaces on Facebook or Twitter. If you want to email the show like these lovely people did already, again, sometimes they get backlogged with content, but we will do our best to make sure that we'll at least email you back at the bare minimum. And then at the best case scenario, we'll put in the show at omniclabpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to hype it up with our Discord community and join the lurkers today, or you can join the posters today. It's up to you. It's over at discord.me/omniclab. Again, that's in the browser, not in the app. You have to find it there. If you guys just want to listen to the show, share it with your friends, just search Overwatch. We're in the top results somewhere. You can find us there. Or you can search Omnic Lab in Google, and you can find us on iTunes, Google Play Music, etc. If you guys want to support the show, like some of the new people that we got this week, you can do that over at Patreon, patreon.com/OmnicLab. If you want to find our live show, there's not many of us, but you can find not many of us. What am I even saying? It's so late here, Andres. On Twitch, we are live streaming right now as we're recording the show at twitch.tv/OmnicLab. This is also where Andres is going to be doing his streams. I'll be revitalizing mine once this PC is purchased and financed and everything's here. Got to work on getting a separate orders for some other stuff like like a monitor to like play on. So that's going to be an experience, ordering a monitor on Amazon Japan. And if you guys like merch, speaking of merch, we have some. So you guys can go to the website. You can click omniclab.com. You can click the store or shop tab, and it's right there. You can find some hoodies, some T-shirts. Got some new stuff there. Andres and I were getting some feedback this last year that people want Omnic Lab swag without the Omnic Lab text, or maybe have the text on the back of the shirt. So I may be going to do some adjustments on that this week for 2017, but no promises. We're going to maybe do it. So still talking about it. We're going to potentially upgrade that for some of you guys. So if you're holding out, let us know if that's something that you'd be interested in, or if you aren't interested in it, go buy them now before they go away, because they're going to be vintage. All right. If you guys want to check the full extended show notes, any show, you can always click on the website. They have a Google Doc link for you. Andres, we already told people you stream on the Omnic Lab Discord or Twitch, sorry, but where can they find you on Twitter?
All right. Personally, you can find me on Twitter at iPlayGames. If you want to stay updated with what I'm doing, my own personal projects, when Omnic Lab goes live or when I'm streaming, you can find all that info over there. And like Rob said, I'll be streaming on Twitch TV/Omnic Lab. Now, to close out the show, we have a little special treat for you guys. This will be a little more developed during the audio show, but we had a little or some submissions from some of our Discord members, our patrons, and our admins, and some of the people that we play with and stuff. They have submitted a lot of audio recordings talking about the show, what they like, and a little bit about themselves. So I kind of want to do a little audio collage with all of them. Definitely look forward to this on the post show. But if you are here right now on the live show, we're just gonna play them as they came in for you guys listening pleasure. And we are gonna start with
We should start with Crispy. Looks like he's leaving.
Okay, let's start with Crispy since his time is limited.
Yeah. All right.
Oh man, I did not name these.
I have Crispy's if you want me to play his, or
all right, play him.
I have everything ready to go.
Play him,
okay.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Crispy here, wishing you all a happy holiday season. These past 6 months have been awesome, watching this community grow and learn together. From this awesome game that Blizzard put out called Overwatch. Everyone in our Discord community, you all rock. I'm a part of many different gaming communities, and this is by far one of the best. I just want to thank everyone in our community for being awesome and supporting the podcast to help foster this Discord community. Without you, I would not be here. To all the Patreons, thank you for the extra help to keep the show plugging away and improving. Rob, Andreas, thank you for putting out awesome content each and every week. Even if Andreas is just waking up and Rob is falling asleep while recording. I look forward to seeing what improvements the Overwatch team gives us and to see how much we will grow our community. There will be more admin-hosted events planned for next year and more community improvements starting to roll out here soon. So look forward to seeing you in the Discord, hanging out, and until then, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, be safe, Crispy out.
Thanks, Crispy. That was really kind of you, dude.
That was great.
All right, we got a couple more we're gonna play over here. I'm gonna go with Boombat's message. Actually, he had a very special submission for you guys. Let me play this.
Hi, I'm Boombat, and I'm a patron and moderator on the Omnic Lab Discord. Just a little about myself. I'm from Australia. I have a puppy Chihuahua, and I like to play Reinhardt. I kind of promised the guys a little song, so here it goes. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Want you behind my shoes. Boom, boom, boom. I'm here to protect you. Boom, boom, boom. For now and forever. Anyway, please come join us on the Omnic Lab Discord. There are many, many shenanigans to be had.
And that was a boom submission for you all. I might have gone a little crazy with some of the editing during his song. I might have added some instruments.
A little.
The
little.
The original one was not as elaborate, but I think he's gonna appreciate it when he listens to it. We have an official song for the Discord too. We're probably gonna make it available if he's cool with it for other people that want to have the Reinhardt song.
Yeah, dog.
All right.
Stay behind me.
You want to share the next one, dude?
Yeah, sure. Who we want to do next here on the audios? We got. I'll just play the next one I have. Let's look like this is Omega, one of our mods.
Let's do it.
Discord. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Omega Flare or Atlas, whichever you want to call me. I'm a moderator in the Omnic Lab Discord. I've been in the Discord since August 11th of this year. I feel like I'm getting better ever since I've joined and met people who I never thought I'd meet. I've been gaming since I was about 12 or 13, starting with CSGO, and I heard about Overwatch from some friends at school, so I decided to try it out, and now it's my most played FPS. In Overwatch, I'm the support main for my team, Eclipse Esports, and I also main Roadhog to try to help people escape ELO hell. I haven't placed on my other account, but I finished mid to high plat in Season 2. I'm hoping to see you all in the Discord.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Omega. Thanks, dude.
That was great.
Sorry about some
That
of
was
the
great.
volume
Sound like you
changes over
recorded on
here.
that phone, man. Yeah.
Everything on the post show will be a little more edited, so everything's gonna sound really clear. Right now, I'm kind of having to like live mix all of the volumes and stuff since everything's so at different stuff. So don't worry, Omega. Yours on the live show will sound just fine, but bear with us on the live show over here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, do you want to just keep plugging away?
Yeah.
We got a couple more here.
Do it.
All right. I'm not sure whose this is. I think this might be Trevor's, but I could be wrong. Let's see how this goes.
Hey, I'm Orion, and I love this
Orion.
podcast because when it comes to discussing Overwatch strategy and competitive play, honestly, no other podcast even comes close. The Discord community is helpful and friendly, and I've made some really great friends and found some really great teammates too. Personally, my favorite part about the podcast is wondering if Rob will ever decide on an intro, and I love this different every single time. The only downside to the podcast is Andres' undying love for Nickelback.
What? He's taking shots.
Shots fired.
All right.
Shots
There's gonna be
fired.
some censoring going on
Backstory.
on the iTunes show. Some words might not make it into the iTunes show, just so you guys know.
Oh man. If there is a way to demote patrons somehow, I bet you Andres is gonna find a way to give that to Orion after that comment.
Orion, Jesus Christ.
All right. Let's keep going. These are getting better and better. I don't know. We didn't even plan this order. This is totally random, so it's been heaping up to be the best. All right, let's go.
Why is
one
this
more.
a
Here
meme? God damn it.
I don't know. You started it, man. All right, let's go.
It's my fault.
Hey everybody here. This is John, aka Vito. Quick tidbit about myself. I'm U.S. Army Infantry. I've been in about 16 years. Currently stationed in Germany.
Ooh.
But that's soon to change. Started listening to the podcast 4 or 5 months ago. I really don't remember when. Loved it. Decided to join the community here. Once I fell in love with that, then I started to contribute. I thought it was great. The community is amazing. Everyone here has been very friendly. About the episodes, it's just an amazing podcast. A lot of variety. You guys pretty much cover everything: PC, console, interviews. My two favorite episodes have been the interview with the Reinhardt professional. That was absolutely amazing, and the other one about the other episode about the aiming techniques and how to get better on that. Those were my two favorite ones. I think they helped me out the most. Other than that, I got nothing else. Thank you again from us out here at the community, and Happy New Year to everybody.
Nice. Thanks for that kind of
Thanks,
words,
man.
Yeah, that was really nice.
That was such a great one. And thanks for, again, like, I know it never gets old, but thanks for serving the United States Army, man. I know that's a huge sacrifice for a lot of reasons and a lot of ways. So really appreciate you.
You rock,
not just in the Patreon way or the support in sending us a clip. All right, let's see. I think we got 3 more here. Let's try this one.
Hello everyone, my name is Christopher, also known as Crazy in the Discord channel.
Ooh, can you raise the volume down a little bit? It's really quiet.
Yeah, I'm going to stop it and redo it.
Hello everyone, my name is Christopher, also known as Crazy in the Discord channel. I've been part of the Omnic Lab community for a couple months now. This past week, I was able to reach Diamond, all thanks to the support of the Omnic Lab community.
Rats.
Through the podcast, honest, I was able to learn a lot of the technical knowledge about the game I needed. And by playing with so many great people from the Discord channel, I greatly improved my mechanical skill. Another amazing experience I had was to be able to play with the official Omnic Lab team, where I learned so much from the competitive six stack playstyle, as well as a lot of important information about the game, all which helped me reach my goal of hitting Diamond. Since I reached my goal, I would like to give everyone a couple of tips and in hopes that it will help others reach their competitive goals as well. Number one, look for one or two people to play with. Sometimes solo queue can be very hard, so having others to help you win the game will make it a lot easier. Although at 2800 SR and above, I found it a lot easier to rank by playing solo queue, so watch out for that. Number two, become really good with one character in every role. Every role. It is crucial that you feel comfortable with one character of every role, since you will often need to switch off your most comfortable role in order to counter pick on the other team or to adapt to the picks your team has already made. Try not to include too many characters though, because it will take longer for you to learn them well, and so to become effective at them. Number 3. Communicate with your teammates as positively and supportive as possible. It is important to communicate with your teammates since it allows for more constructive plays as well as notifying each other of nearby enemies in case of danger. In in case someone becomes extremely negative, I definitely suggest muting that person. Number 4. Something that helped me get a lot better was to practice in the shooting range with all the characters I planned on using during my playing session every time I start the game. It might sound easy, but if every time you start Overwatch and you practice a little bit before you start playing competitive, you will improve your mechanical skills a lot with those characters, and you will be a lot better prepared from if you didn't do it earlier. I would like to say, with that, I would like to send a special thanks to Andres and Rob for building this amazing community that I learned so much from and where I made so many great friends. I would also like to send special thanks to Shock and Fat Cake for helping me so much, teaching me so much about the game that I could get to where I am right now. I hope you all had a great Christmas and wish you all an awesome new year where everyone can reach their competitive goals. Bye bye.
Nice. Little tips from
That was a
Crazy.
great review.
Yeah. A little shout out to Shockmaster and Fat Cake, who also didn't submit their audio files, and they won't be in the episode because they got lazy.
They got booped. They got hacked.
All right, but thanks, Crazy.
Cake.
Procrastinate.
Man. Crazy has been helping me out personally a lot with. He actually did a VOD review for me on my Ana play, so I've been improving alongside and mutually benefiting. And hate to say it, but we didn't build the community. You guys built the community. We're somewhere like we're kind of just a point of reference, as it were. So thanks.
A little shout out to Crazy too. I think that from the players that have joined our committee, I think he's one of the ones that has improved the most in this past month or stuff. We've been playing with Crazy for a while. He sometimes helps us fill in the support roles there of the team. And he has, I don't know if he's been practicing a lot during his free time or something, but he has gotten really good with his Lucio play, and he got himself up from mid gold or something like that up to diamond pretty much almost on his own. So congrats, dude.
Months.
Yeah, congrats. That's a huge improvement. You're playing really well.
All right, and then we have another one from patron and mod. This is a shorter clip. Oh, I'm gonna have to bump this one up again. Let's try again.
Hey guys, this is Mike. You know me in game as Harlequin. This isn't really funny or creative, so I'll keep it as quick as possible. I just wanted to say, in the spirit of the holidays, thank you to the Omnic Lab. Not only to Rob and Andreas for captaining the ship, but to the ship itself, you guys, the Discord. I don't think you appreciate how rare of a community we are, where I don't think I've ever had a disagreement that turned toxic in chat, and I don't think I've ever had a group up with any of you that was a bad experience. So just everyone's individual efforts for mutual respect and being mature and just being a bunch of chill dudes to hang out with. Thank you for that. So, merry whatever you celebrate, and have a happy new year, and looking forward to another year of hanging out with you wonderful people. So have a good one. Bye.
Nice. Thanks, dude.
Thanks,
Super
Harley.
kind words.
Yeah, Harley's a great guy. All right. And then our last one's coming in hot.
I was going to say, he's right about our community. Our community is super awesome. I'm so glad that our community is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me really happy logging into the game and always having people to play with that are really cool.
Yeah, people are just committed to each other, and it sounds like marriage, but it sounds like people are committed to their ranks and just want to help other people do it. So if you guys are interested in commitment, then you can join the group, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
right,
that's a very politically open or very diplomatic marry whatever you celebrate.
That is definitely the most politically correct way of putting it. All right. Here we go. Last one.
Hey guys, Trevor here, also known as Massive. Yeah, I just wanted to shout out everybody and wanted to share, how thankful I am for you guys and, obviously for, everybody who makes our community work, our hosts and, our admins and all the people in the Discord who make the community what it is. I'm eternally grateful for you guys. I've grown as a player being a part of the community and I've had awesome moments, being a part of Omnic Lab. One really quick one is funny. After 2 or 3 weeks of listening.
Nope. Did it stop?
It looks like it cut out. Let me try it.
Listening,
Sorry guys, we're having some technical difficulties on my end. Let me restart
I'd watched maybe one of the YouTube.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't know why this is not working for the live show. Sorry.
Videos or something like that. I was very fresh into it. I hadn't joined the Discord yet, and I'm watching.
Yeah, I'm sorry guys. I don't know why it keeps doing that. I can't get it to stop.
No.
There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Trevor, it's okay. You will definitely be
Darn
on
it.
the post show.
Yeah, but Trevor's been great. He's kind of just popped in and out, and then all at once he just kind of like jumped headfirst into the community and really learned a lot. I've played with him a few times. He's been great in our game nights and helping players out himself as well as learning from others. And yeah, thanks so much for saying that.
That's a little fun fact about Trevor. He is the only Omnic Lab listener that I have actually met in real life, in person. I met him during the E-League finals that happened at Turner Broadcasting here in Atlanta. I was standing in line and my girlfriend wasn't feeling too well that night, so unfortunately I had gone with her and she was like, hey, I don't feel really well, but I don't want you to miss this, so I'm just gonna head home and just kind of rest. And I was kind of sad because I was like, oh man, now I'm here by myself, but still. And then I think it was Trevor who was like sitting there. He was like, hey, are you from Omnic Lab? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. So he struck up a conversation, and long story short, we ended up kind of like sitting together and like enjoying the whole show together. So that was really cool. He ended up being my company for the night since my girlfriend bailed on me. So thanks for being there. And yeah, it was great meeting you, dude. And since then, he's been super active in the Discord. He plays with us in the team and stuff. He's improved a lot, like you said. Great guy.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks again so much for bearing with the technical stuff on the live show and the YouTube scene. If you guys want to hear more, you can do that over on our YouTube page. But it's been one amazing 2016, and we hope to provide you with even more content that you like. So help us build it. If you build it, they come, as they say in Field of Dreams. So help us build it. It's way more fun on the ride than it is to kind of make something, I think, by yourself or just in the podcasters realm, like it's way more fun to do this with the community. Let me tell you, it's been great meeting some of you. And if you guys come to Japan, which is very unlikely, let me know, and maybe we can hook up and do something fun, maybe near Hiroshima. And I learned one phrase that I'll teach you guys. It's called just basically how to say "Have a great New Year" in the next year. It's you say "Yo tashio omukai kudasai." Yo tashio omukai kudasai.
I was practicing this earlier. Omotashio omukai kudasai.
Yo tashio.
Yo tashio. Damn it! I was so close.
If you want to say it super casual, just say yo tashio.
Yo tashio.
So it just means have a good New Year.
Sorry for butchering Japanese language. If anyone from over there is listening, I am very sorry, but I am truly trying to learn. All right.
I just learned it, so it's all good on my end.
That'll do it for today. Thanks everyone who came over to the live show. It's been an awesome episode. Sorry for those of you who came over for the strategy. I know that that's the main thing that we do. And for those of you who are here for that, don't worry. We're coming in super strong next episode with a ton of strategy. We just wanted to have a nice closing episode for this end of year and kind of like involve you guys in the community and kind of update you guys on where we are as a show and as hosts and what we're kind of like aiming for the future. Having that said, I'm going to leave you guys with the boom song to close out the show. Check you later.
Adios.
Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Want you behind my shoe. Bam, bam, bam.